JC News with me, Fudhail, and my partner Hazrie on 3rd of May 2023 to deliver breaking news to you. Good evening. We have just received word that the United States government is considering banning the popular social media app TikTok. Now, many of you may be wondering why the US government is considering such a drastic action. According to sources, the US government is concerned about the app's data privacy policies and its potential ties to the Chinese government.
In recent months, there has been growing concern about TikTok's security and privacy practices. US officials have expressed concerns that the app collects vast amounts of data on its users, including their location and browsing history. There have also been worries about TikTok's alleged ties to the Chinese Communist Party and the potential for the app to be used for espionage purposes. However, this potential ban is not without controversy. Some argue that the move is politically motivated, with the Trump administration looking to score points against China in any election year. Others point out that similar data collection practices are common among many popular social media apps and that singling out TikTok is unfair.
An article from the Firewall Times presents a timeline of data breaches and security incidents that have affected TikTok since 2019. The incidents include allegations of data sharing with China, vulnerabilities in the app's security, unauthorized access to user data, and concerns about the app's data collection practices. The article also discusses the measures taken by TikTok to address these concerns, including partnering with security firms and introducing new privacy features. This situation raises important ethical questions about data privacy and national security. On the one hand, governments have a duty to protect their citizens from potential threats. On the other hand, it is important to balance these concerns with the need to respect individual privacy and freedom of expression.
This is certainly a developing story, and we will be sure to bring you the latest updates as they become available. For now, it remains to be seen whether the US government will go ahead with the proposed ban and what the potential consequences may be.
Now, we have an ethics specialist on air ready to be interviewed by our guide, Najmi. Take it away, Najmi.
Thank you for that. With me is Dr. Muaz, an ethics professor from the University of Oxford. Now, Dr. Muaz, I'm honored to be joining today on this matter.
Thank you.
Some TikTok users were worried about losing access to the app, while others were concerned about the potential of the ban on the US-China relationship and the global tech industry. What do you think about that, Doctor?
From my perspective, it's understandable that some TikTok users were worried about it since the ban could have significant consequences for the millions of users who like TikTok for entertainment, as well as for many companies that have invested into the app. At the same time, the national security concern raised by the Trump administration regarding TikTok's data collection practice should not be dismissed, and it's important for companies to prioritize the protection of user data and privacy.
I see. What is the effect if TikTok is banned forever, Dr. Muaz?
If TikTok is banned, it has significant implications. Ethically and morally, there are a number of concerns that should be considered. First, the ban of TikTok will impact the free exchange of ideas and information online. Social media platforms have become a critical avenue for free speech. If TikTok is banned, it will limit the ability of people to express themselves. Secondly, the ban would have economic consequences, not affecting not just TikTok employees but also advertisers and content creators who rely on the platform. If TikTok is banned, it will hamper their ability to make a living.
I see. So, how does it relate to ethical and moral value?
From an ethical perspective, the decision to ban TikTok must also consider the potential impact on the individual privacy and data protection. While the US government have raised concerns about the data collection practices, any ban would need to be careful not to infringe on any individual privacy rights. Overall, I personally think the decision to ban TikTok involves a balancing of ethical and moral values. While the potential risk of data misuse and national security must be taken seriously, any ban must also carefully consider the impact of freedom of expression, individual privacy, and economic consequences. It's a complex issue that will require careful consideration and ethical reflection.
Thank you, Dr. Muaz. Moving on to JC News.